Good afternoon, everybody. It is Friday, August 1st. My name is Karen, and this is BobbleHeadKnits. So welcome, everybody. This episode is episode 102, and it might be a little disjointed because I'm in the middle of babysitting my grandson. He is going down for a nap, and I have to relieve my husband, who is sitting with him right now, and we're going to trade off at some point. So I might only get half of this recorded, and then I'll go finish babysitting and then come back and finish. So just know that there's craziness afoot. All right, let's get on with things. Let's talk about finished objects. So today I have two finished objects. Surprise, surprise. First one is Charlie the chimpanzee's hoodie. It's a little damp still, so forgive the look of it. But there it is. There's the back of it. And I finished it this week. Now, Charlie, you know, I've been knitting for a few months. I've knit his pants, I've knit his shirt, I've knit his hoodie. No shoes, though. He was supposed to be for me, but he will be going to Atticus, my grandson, as soon as we're done filming. So I needed to get things done so Atticus could take him. The yarn is all Skepshe's Cotonia, and it used about 0.6 of a skein, so a little over half a skein. And hang on one second, and I will tell you exactly how many yards it turned out. It was only 85 yards of yarn. So I have quite a bit of this left over for another something or other. We'll decide. I'm keeping all this yarn from all of these projects, all of the knitted stuffed animals. I'm keeping it all together so I can use it for other projects out of the book, which I will show you right now. Hang on. This was a project out of Knitted Wild Animal Friends. There it is. There's Charlie by Louise Crowther. So my Charlie looks just like that, minus the shoes, and his neck's a little wobbly, but that's okay. So it was a fun project to knit. I am actually going to cast on another project out of this book this week. I'm going to knit Olivia the elephant. There she is. Hang on, and I will show you what she looks like. There she is. And Olivia will be a Christmas gift for my daughter. So, yeah. Overall, really enjoyed, had fun with Charlie. So hopefully Olivia will be just as much fun. All right, Charlie is going to go sit up here so I can show you my other finished objects. I am going to tell you, if you are having problems hearing my vlog, please let me know. I do not have my headphones in because I'm going to try it without headphones, without the microphone, and then that's in the headphones, and just turn up the volume while I'm editing the video. So just let me know if, you know, it doesn't work or you prefer it with the microphone from the headphones. All right, or if you cannot tell the difference. All right, I'm not gonna go buy a separate microphone. I'm just not, that's way too advanced for my little vlog. So we do everything low budget here. All right, next up would be my, a year later, I finally finished my other project here. Hang on, I'm going to show you what they are. And it's just in time for the new pattern to come out, but there they are. I have two of them. It is the Stephen West Surprise Sox-A-Long from 2024. I finished it, I want to say like 4 days ago. I had this one finished for a year, and then I cast this one on. Yes, the heels are different. This one has a brioche heel, and this one is just a garter stitch heel. And they don't fit me. They're a little too tight. So these are going to my daughter, who said she would take them and wear them with her boots this winter. So overall, I did not enjoy knitting this pattern. The pattern is, well, every year he brings out a new surprise Sox-A-Long pattern. I did not join in this year because I was finishing this one, but I did not enjoy this pattern. Just gonna be honest, I did not. I'm knitting another pair of Stephen West socks, and I'm enjoying that pattern, but these, no. They just were not an enjoyable knit. All right, so these are knit in, let me look it up because of course I don't have it saved here. No, it's right here. Dark Omen yarn, merino sock yarn. And there were 4 different colors here. Let's see, there was Riz Salad is this orange yellow stripe variegated. The Sear is the turquoise color there. Sunstorm is the yellow right there. And then Wizard Robe is the purple. So I love the yarn, love the colors, did not like the pattern. All right. I do have like about 48 more grams of the purple, and then a decent amount. I could probably get another pair of these out of them, but no, not gonna do it. I'll be using the leftovers for heels and toes and other shoes or other socks, and I will probably also knit some of my bunting using the leftovers of this. So, all right. Finished object number 2. All right, let's see here. Let's do some whips. Hang on one second. I'll get you another Stephen West sock pattern that I have on the needles. This is one of my, I'm in the middle of a row, so apologies, but this is one of my Christmas in July socks that I am knitting. This one is for my husband, and it is Stephen's pattern, Botanic. Came out, I want to say maybe late June or so. I think it was one of the from his sock collection for 2025. So I'm pretty sure it came out of that. So there it is. If you look, it's beautiful, beautiful. I still have the bottom of the foot to do. The heel is part of that, so I need to do the heel and then the bottom of the foot. I have about 1 inch more to go on the top of the foot here, and then of course the toe. So, but it's coming along. I only have one of these cast on because I was using the needles for something else, so I'm gonna do these one at a time. I try to knit them socks 2 at a time, but lately I've just not been doing that, and I think that's very dangerous because, you know, I will leave a sock sitting for a year, obviously. All right, this is the yellow is Skepsies, and the base is Arcadia, and then the color, all the colors are, that's a Zauberball sock yarn, and it is the Tropical Fish colorway, and it's beautiful. I love it. So they fit really good so far with my husband. He's tried them on. He knows he's getting these. So these actually end up being a birthday gift as opposed to a Christmas gift, but it was a Christmas in July cast on. We'll see if I give them to him for Christmas or for his birthday. So, all right, let me put that out of the way. All right, next up, another sock. We'll do another sock. So this sock is a sock that I am knitting for my friend Brooke. Right now, it is attached to 2 needles. I'm holding some yarn. It's a mess, sorry. This is a toe up sock. It is a combination of the DRK Everyday Sock by Andrea Mowry And then I just did a German short row heel as opposed to the Fliegel heel that it normally calls for. And I'm on the heel right now. So the back or the top stitches are on extra needle, and then the heel, there it is on this needle. The yarn is Hue Loco, and I actually have 2 of them. I have one all done, so that's what it will look like when it's done. And the rest of it should go fast, which I'm glad, because I do have another sock I want to cast on. I actually have 2 socks I want to cast on. So yes, it's coming along. Hopefully Brooke will have this by the end of August, just in time for fall. She lives in Oklahoma, so my guess is she won't be wearing it for a few months. But yes, we won't talk about the little issue that I had with picking up the wrong color green there, but we're leaving it in. So yes. All right, I'm not going to do any scrappy 2x2 socks again because there's too many ends to weave in, just so you know. I will do scrappy socks, but they will be straight vanilla because I don't have time to be weaving in ends after the fact, and this way I can just weave them in as I go. So there we go. All right, next project. Actually, I believe this is the last whip that I'm going to show you that I've actively worked on. There is, of course, I'm doing my dish towels and a few other bits and bobs, but I didn't work on anything else, so we're just going to move on. All right, so my last whip, also in the middle of a row. This is, and I'm going to have to put the name down there because I botch it every time, but it is, I'm going to attempt it, Croieile, brioche contrast cowl. There it is. It's beautiful. Another Christmas. I gotta fix a few things, like right there. I see a little issue I gotta fix. Show you a good part. There it is. I'm actually coming along pretty nicely on this. I mean, I haven't gotten a lot done, but it's gone pretty well. So I just need to go and fix a few things, but it's beautiful. Look at that. So this is for my sister for Christmas, and I'm knitting it in Puzzle Tree yarn is the pink magenta, that color. And then what is this one? I know what it is. Hang on. Knitting for Olive, or Dusty Artichoke. So those 2 together. And yeah, it's coming along. I'm enjoying it. It's just that, you know, again, don't have a whole lot of time to knit. So yes, I was focused on other things this week. So it is coming along and I'm happy with it. So I do have a few spots I need to do some cleanup on. So, but other than that, it's fine. All right, that's it as far as things that I actually worked on this week. I did not do a whole lot of other knitting. I was just determined to get those 2 things off my needles. I am going to cast on Olivia the Elephant, as I said. We're also going to do the Lucky Dip into the sock bag of yarn. So let's do that right now. So this is only half of my sock yarn. It's in this alpaca mat bag. It's the size of a queen size pillow. It's a pillowcase basically, and it's full of self-striping yarn, and I just pick out of it whenever I finish a pair of yarn or a pair of socks for the next pair of socks. So we're gonna do that, and I'm not gonna look, I'm just gonna reach in, because if I look then that's cheating, so we're not gonna do that. All right, I got one. Oh, pretty Night Owl fibers. Let me take it out of the bag here. Night Owl fibers. This is the Pineapple Shake Up. This is their 75-25 base. There it is. It's beautiful. I actually have the perfect toe color that I'm gonna, or heel and cuff and you know what I mean, heels, toes, and cuffs that I'm going to use with this blue. I'm going to use that for the heels and toes, so I'll dig that out, and it's gorgeous. So I'll be casting this on this weekend also. So the other thing I'm going to do once I get one more pair of socks done, so hopefully in the next week I'll get Brooks socks done. I'm going to cast on another pair of socks this month because I have Halloween yarn that I want to get knit up in time for October, and with the rate I knit socks and things, I need to cast it on now to have it done by October 1st. So I'm going to work on that as soon as I finish Brooks socks. So all right, so Lucky Dip did that. Other things, stash enhancements. We're going on week 3 that I did not buy any new yarn. Yay me. I did buy a little tulle. It has not come yet. So when it comes, I'll show it to you. I also am expecting my August Freckled Whimsy Yarn of the Month, self-striping yarn. Haven't received that yet. So those things did not get added to the stash in June or July. So we won't worry about that until they show up. All right. Let's talk about state of the stash because it is August 1st. So I want to talk to you about some July numbers, and we're going to do this fairly quickly. Yes, I am rushing through things. I have, babysitting to do. All right. In July, I actually brought in 6 skeins of yarn. So that's 300 grams of yarn. All of that yarn was it all? I think most of it was related to a cardigan that I'm gonna knit, How to Kiss My Grandson. It was 600 yards, and I haven't cast it on, but it's in the cast on pile, so that'll happen. That 600 yards is the equivalent of 0.4 miles, so a little bit of yarn. As far as yarn going out in July, I did okay. And the reason I did okay is because I gave away 3 skeins of yarn. If you watched the last 2 weeks, I did a random comment generator, number generator thing, and gave away a pattern and some yarn, and both have gone out. I mailed the yarn today. I shipped the pattern like last week, so yeah, we're good on that. So total amount of yarn out was 4.92 skeins. Yay me. That's the equivalent of 406 grams. Yeah, that was more grams out than in because the skeins were bigger in the skeins that went out than what I brought in. That's how that went. That is the equivalent of 1,723.6 yards of yarn out of my stash, which is 0.9, almost a whole mile worth of yarn. So all I have to say is thank goodness for giveaways, because that's what saved me this month. The other things that I finished were all little things, so if I hadn't given away those 3 skeins, I would be hurting. So all right, I started the year at 453.43 skeins. As of today, I'm at 460.51 skeins. So not a huge difference. I'm up by about 7 skeins. However, I have yarn coming in, of course, every month. And I also have advents coming in, the fall, winter. So yeah, I'm not gonna most likely end up having used up more yarn than I brought in, just so you know. And I'm okay with that. That just is how things are. All right. Oh, I got some big news this week on the knitting front. I'm so excited. my daughter-in-law would like me to knit her a cardigan. It's going to be my Christmas gift to her. So right now we're looking at patterns, and I'm gonna have her pick out the pattern that she wants me to knit. And then we're gonna go get yarn. Amazingly, I do not have a sweater's quantity worth of yarn in the color she wants. So she wants like a navy blue. I don't have that many skeins of navy blue. In fact, I think I might have 2, and that's it. And they're going in Addie's cardigan. So she knows about all this. She asked me, well, she didn't ask me. She's been talking about crocheting herself a sweater, but she has never done it before. And so she's brought it up a few times, and I said, well, would you like me to knit you one? And she's like, well, would you? And I was like, I would be honored to. So I told her it would be her Christmas gift. So I'm really excited about that. I get to go buy yarn and use it up. So I will be adding that to my long list of things that I will be knitting. I've told her it may not be done by Christmas. We all know how these things go. Some of you have been around. You saw the Christmas sweater that turned into the, I think, St. Patrick's Day sweater this year for my husband. So it'll be a similar thing, just like that. All right. All right, we did the lucky dip. I think that is it for the yarny stuff and the knitting stuff. And let's move on to life stuff. All right, this morning we've been watching Atticus today, my husband and I. My husband watches him normally on Monday and Wednesday, and then he has a nanny 2 days a week, and then another grandma watches him 1 day a week. Well, things got kind of tossed up in the air, so today my husband and I watched him. So we took him to my sister's house. My sister lives way out south, and so we took him out there, and he had a great little time visiting with her, and one of her neighbors has a 15-month-old, and Atticus is 2, so we went to the park with them and had a good time, but it was really hot. That's why my hair is a mess, because I was sweating, and then when I got home, I put water in it to try to get it to not look so crazy. So that's why my hair is wet. So we went to eat lunch after, and then came home, and Atticus is now napping, as I said. So speaking of really hot, last week after we recorded, actually I guess it was Saturday, we went on a bike ride with Atticus and his mom and dad, and we had brunch, and Atticus ran through some fountains, and we did all that, and then I came home and promptly realized I had heat stroke. So that was not fun. I'm okay, but it was like above 95 degrees, and I really should have, 1, been drinking more water, and 2, probably not have ridden my bike that far on that hot a day. So that was fun. All right, we did have fun that night, though. We were all feeling the heat. But Atticus, who his parents don't really let him have screen time, so he doesn't watch like any TV really. A little bit like when he's not feeling great or something, they'll let him watch something. They let him have a movie night a few months ago, and so last Saturday they decided that he could have another movie night. And he's 2, so we've at this stage, he doesn't really need to be watching TV or anything, but we watched Finding Nemo with him and with his dad. His mom also had heat stroke, and she was really not feeling well, so she went to bed, but we got to watch Finding Nemo with Atticus, and it was so much fun. He was so enthralled. So, highlight of my week. Still crazy busy at work, and it will be for another 2 weeks. Will have been on Tuesday. I will have been at my job for a whole year, and I realized like the last 2 weeks, it was like it finally clicked with me that it was like, oh wow, I'm finally like contributing a lot to the team. Where early on I was doing a lot of training and not able to do a lot of things that everyone else did because I hadn't been trained on them, and now I have been. And so yeah, it was like I was like, oh, look at me, I've made it a year. So yeah, a little proud moment there. All right, books and TV. Have we been watching TV? We've been watching The Gilded Age on Max, or I think that's what it's called, Max. Yeah. That's kind of a show my husband watches, but I've been enjoying it, to be honest. And then some weird, like some German version of Stranger Things, only it's not. I don't even know the name. My husband was watching it. I've been watching it with him, but I'm so lost in what's going on that I might as well not be watching it. So, yeah, what can I say? Books. I finished the book Tilt by Emma Pattee, Pattee. Excellent book. I highly recommend. This woman who is very, very pregnant, due any day, is shopping for a crib at IKEA in Portland when an earthquake, a major earthquake hits, and she has to walk across Portland to get to her husband. And so it's her journey as she goes. It's nothing too, like, you know, pregnant woman walking across Portland after a earthquake. It's nothing too, like, I want to say tragic, or, you know, but there are some deaths. There are a few moments that you're like, oh my gosh, you know, but it's mainly just the story of her and her husband and their relationship and her relationship now with her unborn child. So yes, so it was very good though. I really enjoyed it, and I had heard good things about it, and I highly recommend it. All right, that's all I got. I'm gonna run out now, go back to babysitting, and I will see you all next week with more knitting nonsense, I guess. All right, everyone have a great week. I'll talk to you later. Bye.